Hey everybody, and welcome back to Tenza Motorsports. Really excited about today's unboxing and review. We have with us the KAiWEETS, or KAiWEETS, however you pronounce that. And we are actually going to be going against a snap-on unit here. This one is an articulating industrial borescope, and then this is just a standard borescope. So we're going to put these head-to-head. We're also just off camera over here. I've got it charging because I don't use it super often. I have a Depstech one, which is just an Amazon one. That one's more of like an entry-level one. I've actually owned that for a long time, but we'll get into all the specifics and prices and everything like that in just a moment. Before we get started, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, like if you enjoy this type of content. Also make sure to check us out on Instagram, Tenza_Motorsports, where we do giveaways. Now let's start with the most expensive one, the snap-on. This is the BK3000, and I know that they've got one out after this. So for every snap-on lover that gets into the comment section and gets all mad about it, yes, I understand. There is one that's slightly newer than this. I believe this is only one generation behind. If my research is correct, there's only one model after this. This is about 3 years old or so. And so this isn't the newest snap-on, but these still sell used all day long for around $100, which is how much this one costs. Even though this is slightly older, they still compete head-to-head price range-wise. And you can find these for more than $100. They are out there, especially ones that were never really opened or not used very much. They can still sell for closer to like $200. New, this is $300 or $400, which is crazy to me because I didn't realize that Snap-on had anything that was less than $600. I don't know why, but $600 is their favorite number. I think that's where most of their products on their truck kind of start. So anyways, we got those two, and then we also have Depstech. Now, I don't know if Depstech is still called that. We did order this other kit about 7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, so it's a little bit older, and I know that some of these companies like to cycle through names, but the app still works, and we're going to be looking at that one as well. Let's just go based off new pricing. Depstech is around $40, and I still think you can find that style of borescope on Amazon for around that price. This one here, the KAiWEETS, this is around $100, and this is brand new. I have popped it open one time to just make sure it powers up, and it's got battery so that we can use it on the channel. Just make sure that nothing was damaged in shipping. And then this is actually my boss's from work, and like I said, it's about 3 years old. He hasn't used it a ton, so it's not something that's like been beat up. It's actually still in really good condition. A little dirty because you get a little bit of grease on your hands, and then you touch this, but it will still be in good working condition. So it's not like we're comparing ones that's been damaged or beat up versus a brand new one. The main focus of today is this guy here. This is pretty exciting. I just kind of wanted to show him kind of like side to side with some other options. Just from what I played with, it was really cool. So let's just read through the box here real quick. Articulating industrial borescope. This actually does the whole like little worm end. So if you've got it down somewhere and you need to actually rotate or move the camera at the very end, there's a little wheel on this that does that. Aircraft engine inspection, automotive repair and maintenance, pipeline equipment inspection, building structure inspection, and marine engine inspection. If I remember right, I think this does have some sort of, and I don't see anything on here, it does have some sort of water resistant. Some of them are waterproof, but most of them can at least be water resistant. It's like if you accidentally run it into your engine, you dip the end of it in oil. It's not completely ruined or anything like that. This specific model is the KBA02, and I'll have obviously everything that we use today in the description below. 4.3-inch screen, 6.5 millimeter camera, cable length is 1.6 meters or 525 feet. Resolution is 1920 by 1080. There we go, waterproof grade IP67. So whatever that ends up being. Operating temperature, -10 degrees or 50 degrees Celsius, 14 degrees Fahrenheit or 122 degrees. Battery is a 3000 milliamp, 5-hour battery life. Charge point type C, which is nice, so USB-C. And the charge is 5 volts. I'll try to find the specs to the other two because I'm not going to sit here and read out numbers the entire video. And then that way we can kind of like, again, see them side by side. But yeah, let's go pop this thing open and I'll show you exactly what this one does. And then I'll compare them to the other two borescopes. Here is how it comes. It did come obviously packaged up in a bigger box. It didn't just come bare like this. But this is the box that you're greeted with after getting rid of all of the packaging material. And presentation wise, I have always liked good packaging. shows me that they do care about their products, and not just slipping this into a padded envelope and duct taping it together, shipping it off. They actually spent a little bit of time making sure that the presentation is there. And there is the case, got their logo and everything on it. And then opening this up, just a zippered pouch here. Bit of a hard shell, not like super hard, but a bit harder shell case here. And there it is. I do like having a storage place for this stuff. You have somewhere to put this. So if you just stuck this in your toolbox, it would take one screwdriver, and all of a sudden your screen is cracked or scratched really bad. Over here we've got the instruction manual. You also have some screen wipes, which is kind of nice to have. User manual for the KBA02. All the buttons and lights and how everything functions. Pretty simple stuff, honestly. This is the first time popping this open. I was able to turn this on and function it pretty easily without reading through this. So in order to keep the video exciting, we won't sit there and read the owner's manual, but that is there in case you have any questions. You have some tips here, which is nice to have. This one is to help you pick something up in case you drop it, so you can use your camera to get down in there and hook stuff. This one here, kind of same thing, except for it's a magnet on the end, which is kind of nice. And same thing if you were to drop something. And this one right here gives you a 90-degree, it's a mirror. So your camera comes in and then you reflect straight out, which is super cool. It does come with actually a fairly decent looking USB-C cable now that I look at it. It's not just one of the cheap ones, actually kind of like a braided. Connectors on it are a little bit more beefy. Feels good for USB-C cables. A lot of companies just send you the cheapest ones they can get their hands on. And then obviously it's nice to have this little pouch over here. Oh, and there's actually foam, so there's actually more room in that pouch, just like that. Now onto the unit itself, and then here's the cool thing. So you roll this wheel here, and you can see the end of that move. How cool is that? If you need to get down into something, look into a valve, just kick that thing over, and it can go all the way. Like, look at that. All right, let's turn it on. Press and hold the power button here until we get a logo. And it's on. It's ready to go. So there's us looking back up at the camera. You can take pictures. You can also record. You can change the brightness. So that light that's on the other, you can actually change how bright that is. There is a menu system. So let me see here if we can go. So I'm just going to, so I think we just took a picture. So there's the picture right there. So let's go to the menu systems here. So you got up, down, okay to confirm. I mean, pretty simple stuff. So let's delete that photo. So delete all, might as well. And okay. And confirm, no files, perfect. And you just press back to get out here. So once you're out here to where the camera is functioning, you can press the gear button, you can go to the main menu. This is English, day, nighttime, automatic shutdown, your resolution, date label, recording. So there's a recording thing right there. So recording and sound, storage, brightness, temperature system, Fahrenheit, default settings, format, and version. Oh, also, it does come with an SD card. Already came with one right there. I'll pull that out in just a second. I can't remember how big the card is. Let's turn it off. So I'm press and hold the power button, and there it is, completely off. Let's see the SD card here. Comes with a 32 gigabyte SD card. So it's not even anything small, like a 2 or 4 gig. I think that's how big the SD card is on my GoPro. Cool. Let's go to the cheaper one first. Let's look at the Depstech one real quick, and it's really not that complicated. Let's look at that one real fast. Okay, here is the Depstech one, and like I said, this is used. I've had this for quite a while now. All of the same adapters, but as you can see here, or maybe, I'm not sure, but these are slightly bigger. So the head of this Depstech is slightly bigger around. The other thing is this does not do the whole fancy turning by itself. This is all completely manual, and this is the controller box here. To use this, you'll flick it to the on position. There's a Depstech app. You'll start that, and then it actually uses a Wi-Fi signal. So I'll have to go in here and get the Wi-Fi. So hold on just a moment. Okay, and a quick setup later. It does not like the frequency of my LEDs. That's what those lines are. And then what's nice about this is all the recording, screenshot, all that stuff is available because you're using a smart device. You can use this on iPad, you can use a phone, whatever you want it to be. Let's pull out the Snap-on real quick and show you that one. And then I want to show them side by side in a real world scenario. So here is the Snap-on. Like I said, this is the BK3000. It is kind of cool that it's so small. This is something that fit in a cargo short pocket or something like that. But there's not really a ton to this system. Let me see if it's got, let me see what else it's got in here. So manual, and then there is some stuff down here at the bottom. Let me see if it's got bits in here, maybe. I don't know if this one came with, let's see here, accessories. Looks like the accessories are on this actual kit. So let's unwind this real quick. And then I guess there's an arm that flips out here. Okay, that's kind of cool. So there's your magnet attachment. And then there is the 90-degree angle. So it doesn't look like it's got the hook, but it's got those two, which is cool. And you just slide that back in there. It's got a case. So if you want to use a soft shell bag. And everything's all packed up into one thing. The one thing that you will notice on this is that this is the only one that uses AA batteries. This is not rechargeable, which is kind of nice and kind of not at the same time. I do kind of tend to like things like this because if something goes out, you know, it's kind of like, it's almost like, even though it's both electricity, it's kind of like having an electric car versus a gas car. Gas car, you just refill. AA batteries, AAA batteries, you just swap them out. An electric car, you have to sit there and let it recharge. So if this had a, you know, was rechargeable, then you, if it ran out of battery, you'd have to sit there and wait for it to be done versus just popping some new batteries in it. This one is super easy to use. Press and hold the on button. Snap-on logo there. And we're off to the races. So you can see there, the Snap-on box. You can save pictures up to 30, so not a very big storage spot there. Like most of these has a light on it. You can turn the light up using this button here. And once it gets to the top, then it goes back down to the lowest one, and then it kind of rolls back up. So 5 or 6 light settings. You can zoom in, which is kind of cool. 4x, zoom, take a photo, view the photo, and delete the photo. So pretty simple stuff. Press and hold it, turn it off. Nothing too crazy. All right, so we have a muffler here, and excuse some of the mess in the shop. I'm still transferring stuff out to my new shed. Scenario, cats on this vehicle went out, and you're trying to make sure that there isn't a bunch of debris in the muffler as well. Okay, simple enough. Let's start with the cheapest one we've got, so the Depstech. Sorry, hold on. There's a lot of motion blur in these borescope cameras. But one thing I do want to show is how crispy a photo can look once you stop moving. So you can get focus on something, like look how clean. I mean, for a $40 unit, this looks pretty good. So let's go get the KAiWEETS system out. And we'll play with that one a little bit, and we'll see how much nicer or better that looks. See if I can get the camera to look a little bit better at this. This is better. You can see there's less motion blur. Yeah, obviously that's a better view. This system being half a decade newer and twice the price, this does look a lot better. Oh, look at that. We're looking around while I don't even have to move my other hand. Well, let's grab the Snap-on real quick, and we'll go from there. Wow, that's not good. The light's not bright enough. Hold on, let me make sure. This video isn't to bash on Snap-on. It's to show how good the KAiWEETS one is. That's the picture I'm getting. That's not great, and that's not a very good comparison. It's just, I think it's just the light isn't bright enough. So that's with the light all the way bright. But you can see, I mean, you can get good pictures. Sorry, every time I move this, it moves the camera. But you can see, you can get good pictures if you're up close. See that? Looks nice. See if we can't bump the quality up by adding a flashlight in here. Yeah, I mean, this isn't bad. What's cool about this is it's so small and compact. Like I said, you could just throw this in your pocket and go, but I don't know. I'm having to add a flashlight just to be able to see, you know, further than like 2 or 3 inches in front of the camera. So I'm gonna turn this flashlight off and try to keep it. Okay, you ready? I'm gonna turn the flashlight off. All right, well, I think that pretty much sums it up. It literally shows off how good the KAiWEETS is for the price. And again, unfortunately, and this isn't a Snap-on bash, everybody gets butthurt about that. Stay the hell away from Snap-on electronics. You want to get their hand wrenches? Fine. You want to get a ratchet set? Fine. Do not buy their electronic products. Well, I thought they'd all be similar. That's why I did this test, to show off kind of, you know, what are you going to get for around this $100 or less. Again, the Snap-on stuff. Oh, it'll be worth more used. No, it's not. Oh, it'll have better quality. It's not. It's just not. I would get this one that you're looking at right now, again, every day of the week. And I haven't even hardly used it. Just enough to do this test here and you know, that initial, when I was playing with it, I first got it. But the KBA02, KAiWEETS, borescope, excellent stuff. Good stuff. So again, everything linked down in the description below. I really appreciate everybody so much for watching. Let me know what you think. If you like this, make sure you go and use the link down in the description below. I do get a slight kickback from purchases using my Amazon links, and it doesn't cost you any more money, and it helps fund the channel. And I don't know how many of you guys know this, but every penny that the channel makes goes right back into it. I'm not playing with any of this money personally. It is right back into the videos and the products that you see being reviewed, played with, tested, modified, screwed around with on the channel. That's where all that money goes. So I really appreciate everybody so much for watching and purchasing using the Amazon links in the description. And I will see everybody in the next video.
Bam!